You guys ready for the live stream?
Let's try.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's start it.
You guys ready for the live stream? Okay, I had to mute that. And can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. For some reason, my YouTube is still frozen. So let me go back and check. Okay, yeah, we're back online. Cool. So, hi everyone. Welcome to our YouTube podcast. In fact, a great learning series that Catbot's team is contributing to. Today, I'm proud to present to you and welcome this new set of people who've been working behind the scenes. Kaushika, Ashi, Bhupi, they pulled together some amazing stuff. Taking SAP data, pulling it into GCP, and then a lot of cool stuff. I don't want to steal the thunder there. Looking forward to hearing that. And Karthik here, the usual suspect. He's here to give me company always. So thanks, Karthik, for being here. We'll
Yeah.
just go around. Yeah, great. Quickly to introduce ourselves. So I am leading Catbots with over 20 years of business transformation experience. I work for many large consulting firms and also very large clients and solve some of the very complex challenges, and super proud to have been part of those organizations and done some amazing work. And now with this talented set of individuals here who have amazing experience. So looking forward to hearing from them. So Karthik, you want to do a quick intro and then we can just go around.
Sure. Thanks, Ashish. So, hi guys. My name is Karthik. Ashish is usual suspect here. So, I come with 7 years of collective experience in sales, marketing, and digital marketing as well. So, I'm here working as a PMO analyst here at Catbots, and I recently graduated from Masters in MIS from Robert Morris University. Kaushika, over to you.
Yes. So, hi everyone, I'm Kaushika and I work as a data analyst and engineering person in Catbots. So, I completed my master's in ASU from Arizona State University. I did my master's in business analytics and I hold like 2+ experience in analytics. So, like looking forward, Ashi, you can go ahead.
Hi everyone, I'm Ashi and I have 10 plus years of experience in IT industry and including the project leadership, finance systems in the ERP application. Also, I have performed different role in my overall career as a project manager, agile delivery, as a scrum master. And I have worked in the ERP platform as an Oracle Apps finance function consultant in deployment, implementation, migration in various kind of projects. And currently, I'm working in CatBoss as a business analyst, and I'm just using my currently whatever I do have the overall experience using my skills. I'm just involved in the data analysis, business process improvement, and cloud integration initiative. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you. Thanks, everyone. I am Bhupender, and I graduated last year from Fairfield University, and I did my master's in management of technology. I carry 20 plus years of experience in different industries: automobile, banking and finance, retail, e-commerce, and heavy engineering like oil and gas. So I come with a very thorough background to connect the dots between operational workflows and how the projects are being driven and what is the strategic value that we drive out of them. So here at Catboards, I'm working as a business and technology specialist. I'm sitting at an intersection where we find out the opportunities within SAP's ecosystem and try to bring the value for our clients that they can convert their investment into something very much useful, and it reduces their burden and improves their ROI. Thank you. Over to you guys.
Yeah, thanks, Bhupi, Kaushika, Ashi, and Karthik for being here once again. And I think you all have very deep experience, and I'm looking forward to solving many problems ahead for our clients, for Catbots, right? Without further ado, we'll pass it to Kaushika and Ashi to share, and Bhupi to share their presentation. So looking forward to the discussion.
Yeah, just give me a moment. I'll share my screen, right? Yeah. I hope my screen is visible, right?
Yep.
So this is the SAP GCP integration project that we are trying to do. And we worked as a team to come up with the entire end-to-end integration from the SAP data taken. And I, like Kaushika, Ashi, and Bhupender, worked on it. So I'd like to go to the next slide, right? Yeah. Yeah. So Ashi, you can go ahead. Yeah.
You're on mute, Ashi.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. So before we show you the solution, so we just want to start with the problem, right? So think about this is a moment in most banking and insurance organizations, procurement data lives inside the SAP, and most business leaders simply cannot access it. So if a finance director asks which vendor is costing us the most this quarter, the answer does not come in second. It comes in a days because someone has to run a report, clean the data, build a chart, and send it back, right? So this is the core problem. And when we looked at these challenges, we identify 5 specific pain points that organizations face every day. First is there is a limited visibility into enterprise-wide spend. Nobody has a single complete picture of what is being spent, right? And where what is being spent, where, and with which vendors. Second one is the report creation is slow and the time consuming. Every report is a build manually, takes days to produce, and it out of date the moment it lands in someone's inbox. Third one is the supplier and budget risk are identified too late. By the time someone notices a budget overrun or a consultation risk, and the damage is already done. And another next one is the answering ad hoc procurement question is very difficult. So every one of question from the leadership creates a piece of work for the analytics team. And the last one is the business users has no self-service access data. So they are completely dependent on the technical team for every single insight. So these 5 challenges together create a real gap. So between the data organizations have and the decision they need to make, that is exactly what we set out to solve. So going to the next slide, here we can see what we build. We build a complete SAP analytics platform on the Google Cloud, connecting the SAP S4 HANA procurement data to a modern analytics and AI layer that any business's user can access instantly. So let me walk through the two sides of the solution. We start with the SAP S4 HANA as our data source, 5 years of procurement and spend data, including the purchase order, invoices, suppliers, budget actuals, and cost center information. So that data follows into the Google BigQuery, Google Cloud's enterprise data platform, right? So we loaded 8 SAP tables into BigQuery, covering every dimensions of indirect spend. BigQuery becomes our single source of truth. On top of that, we built Looker Studio Executive Dashboard. So the dashboard scenarios that answer every major procurement question from, for example, 5 year spend trends, right through to the supplier risk, invoice payment performance, budget details. And then on top of the dashboard, we integrated the Gemini powered AI analytics, including a natural language query interface where anyone can simply type a question and get an answer with a chart in under 30 seconds. So on that right, you can see what this platform enables. So spend visibility across every supplier, region, category, budget versus actual monitoring in real time, supplier performance analysis, including the uh, scores and the risk rating. So this with this information, like we have the procurement KPI tracking at the executive level, and most importantly, AI powered question answering and through executive self-service analytics. So in short, no more waiting for the reports, no more analytics bottleneck, So this is what we are getting using this GCP integration. Thank you so much. Yeah, you can go to the next. Yeah, over to you.
So to add on to that, right? So basically when Ashi explained the data flow, right? We took the data from S4HANA, the SAP like S4HANA procurement data, which was like retrieved. And from that, we have a centralized analytics layer, which we used Google BigQuery. The entire infrastructure in Google BigQuery was set up, right? The entire data engineering work, where we set up the infrastructure, where we create every kind of a table data set, which has underlying data, and we query everything, which all happens inside Google BigQuery. And here again, we have something called Looker Studio, which is also a Google's product, where we have like interactive executive dashboards that we make on that. And on top of that, we also created agents which will like tell us the Gemini features like natural language prompting and everything, right? To add on to that, we also have the business outcomes. Yeah, you can go ahead, Bhupender.
Thank you. So what we were trying to achieve in this entire project, that how can we transform the SAP's data into a actionable intelligence using the Google Cloud services, such as Looker Studio, AI-powered analytics using the data canvas, and as well as Gemini. So the main objective was to improve the spend visibility, like spend single source of truth, what Ashi mentioned in the beginning in the problem statement, that the information lies across in different places and there is no single source of truth. And also like multi-year year spend analysis is very critical when you are having multiple business operations and multiple organizations reporting into one chart of accounts. So it becomes very imperative for a procurement manager to find out where the spend is going on, what are the leakages and such scenarios. And by that, we get to next, like the benefit of this our project was to understand how the businesses accelerate their decision making. So we have the insights right on our tab by using natural language query and also predefined queries. And we have the dashboards, and we have all those insights and metrics where we can find out the gaps and identify the trends. And on the third benefit is like the strengthening of budgeted governance. So when we say that governance, it is very, very critical for organization that they know what are the policies and how the spend is being uh, monitored, and what are the areas getting the most of the traction, or if it is like a strategic spend, it's like an operational spend, it is an ad hoc spend or a contracted spend. So, and what are those policies, how we can make those areas as to reduce the leakages, to stay compliant with the larger management perspective, and to meet the audit requirements. So we can identify the risks. And the last part is like what Ashi and Kaushika mentioned, that it is a self-service solution, that you can go into the agent, you can put your query, simply ask the question, because it is sitting on the right quality data, right set of data, which is easily ingested. And we have done a very solid job in mapping those data sets from SAP into the generic fields so that everyone can understand. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it for the the PPT. We can get into the system and show you like what we have created. Ashish, do you want to add on anything over here, or else like let me skip to the system?
No, I think like the way you guys have pulled together everything. I know we started this project and we went back and forth in terms of what we wanted to do, but I think the end product is looking really promising, and the way you guys have rallied together and in such a short time you turned it around and make it something like presentable and very informative. So I think really great job there by three of you and the rest of the team who has been collaborating with you. So yeah, we'll looking forward to seeing the demo.
Yeah, sure. So this is the entire console, right, that we worked on for our project. So this is the basic, like the Google query landing page. So this is the project that we've created, SAP BigQuery demo, to work on the entire architecture for this. So when we were setting up the infrastructure of this console, we were given a project ID, and we had underlying data sets. So the data set that we created for this entire data, to the 8 spend tables to go on, was this. And we have created all the budgeted queries, like 8 underlying tables. And on top of these 8 underlying tables, we were also able to create queries, right? So each query like defined. So there were like multiple queries that we created, and each query defining a single scenario. So we also like worked upon a few other scenarios, and I can just show you like one of the scenarios that we worked on. So if you can see, this was the underlying query where we got our results basically for each query, and running each query, we were able to visualize the data here as well. And we also had like Looker Studio platforms where we can visualize the entire results. We also were having data canvas, which Ashi will talk about later after I explain this one, right? So we also have the entire user metrics and results that are displayed along with the job information. So this was setting up the entire console. And we also had our data sets lying in different areas where we like integrated them with the data set, and as well as like configuring them to tables, basically. So yeah, Ashi, you can go ahead explaining the data canvas, right?
Yeah. So next thing is I think we want to show you one of the favorite tool in entire Google Cloud ecosystems, that is BigQuery Data Canvas. And this data canvas is a visual whiteboard. It is a drag and drop workspace inside the BigQuery, where you can map out the data, generate the SQL using the plain English prompt, to build the chart and create the data stories. And this we can do all in one place. So instead of writing the complex SQL code to explore the data, you just drag the tables onto the canvas and talk to your data. So, and type what you want to see in plain English, and data canvas generate the query and the chart automatically. So let us show you exactly how we used this to analyze our SAP spend data. First, Koshika, can you please? Yeah. So
Yeah.
first we have to drag the purchase order header 1 table onto the canvas. And instead of writing the code, we will just type the natural question prompt here. So we can, like, for example, we can type show me monthly PO spend trend by region for 2024.
Right.
But
So
it's hang on, you just pulled in the header. Are you going to pull in the line item data also?
No, we have to just pull the data because we don't want to do anything that this data canvas will, once the data canvas will access the table, and data canvas will pull all the data, whatever the inside having in the table. We don't want to do anything.
So it will automatically pull the rest of the things.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the reason I said this is a very favorite tools we can use in GCP cloud, in BigQuery.
So
And
I just have given a query here, basically.
yes,
Like
you can ask the question over there.
Yeah.
Once you click there, data canvas, we can see that data canvas generate the SQL query and runs it. And
it identifies the data to use, and it also like writes the query for us.
correct. And it runs it and produce the chart right on the canvas whiteboard.
So basically it's doing all the joins on its own.
Yeah.
And then you'll be able to see like what joins it did.
Correct. And this is very something really powerful, Ashish. Like we are not locked into the whatever visualization it gives you first. If we want to change the visualization, for example, this is showing something like this stacked bar chart, right? But if I want to see this visualization in the bar chart, I can simply click on the refine that chat button on the chart and type the change this to a stacked bar chart by month showing gross amount per region.
So basically it visualizes us a line chart now. If we want to change it to a bar chart, I can just go put this refined query, right? And if I give refine,
can change this to a bar chart by month showing gross amount per region.
Wow.
And the data canvas instantly, you can see that regenerate the same data as completely different chart type. No manual SQL rewriting, no rebuilding, just a quick English instructions, and we have a completely new perspective on the data. This means anyone, even non-technical stakeholder, can adjust views on the fly during in a meeting. So what it gives us, it's a visual data story, right? Like we can see the entire analytical journey on one canvas without writing a single line query. And also we can share the canvas link directly with the managers, directors for pre-meeting review, so that stakeholder
Nice.
can explore the data story before the meeting even start.
Nice. Ashi
Yeah,
and
this will.
Kaushika, I do need to drop in sometime, so if you guys can show us the other aspects, that would be helpful. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can cover in the next session also.
I mean, yeah, I can just show you one part of the agent that we developed, and as soon as I show you the agentic view, right? I think we are like pretty much covered most of the things. We do have the dashboards. I think we can have it for the rest of the next section, right?
Yeah. So this
Yeah.
is the AI agent training deployment. Like this is the most powerful AI capability in this entire platform. And we can use this using this spend analytics agent. We can build the using this BigQuery agent builder. We can use this agent builder inside the Google Cloud Console. This is where we create, train, deploy AI agent that connected directly to the BigQuery data. So once we have a setup agent was that straightforwarded to get this running, we have to connect our BigQuery tables directly as a knowledge source. So what makes this agent powerful? That is, it does not just retrieve the data, it reason about it, that when you ask a question, it decide which table to query and write the SQL automatically, and runs it against the BigQuery and format the answer in the plain answer in the English format, right? And also you will get the chart as well. So
Yeah.
we can, yeah. So this is not a generic chatbot. This is the dedicated AI analytics that has been connected to our specific SAP data and understand our specific business context.
Yeah, on top to add on to what Ashish said, right? This agent, what we have trained is called a spend analyst, right? We have also instructed the agent with like few instructions to follow only the 8 tables instruction. It can only retrieve the information from the 8 tables and cannot give generic answers like other LLMs, basically. So when I go to this agent, right, and like ask a question related to the total PO spend, it gives me the entire overview of what I've asked, right? Basically, if I go and ask this entire chat, what is the total PO spent by vendor, right? So if this conversation is enabled, then it gives me a general insight on like these were the top suppliers spend. Secure Bank LLC represents the higher PO spend at this rate, right? And it also gives me the insights along with it. So it also has the capability to create different visual charts. Can you see the different visual charts it has been created? So these are the underlying capabilities of conversations inside the AI agent spread.
Yep.
So the next thing is will be about the Looker Studio dashboards. And it depends on your time constraint, Ashish, if you want to go
I
ahead with that.
think Bhupi wanted to add something, right?
So Ashish, the point is that there's a very interesting thing that to see and observe and to like highlight here is that we are using AI in two different areas. One is that we are generating a query, and that is like no code or less code. That is where the capability of Google's AI, native AI engines are coming into play, like Codex, like you name other competitors. So writing a query itself is in it's a very complex task, and we are able to generate a query with a definitive output. That's a very good plus point. Second point is using the same like AI capability of Google, we are running the scenario, we are tuning the agents, we are guiding the agents what to do. We are creating a scaffold that you do not hallucinate. You are acting like a analyst and you have to be on that data. You don't go right and left. And then
Yeah.
so the both things are giving us the same output, but one is from the coding standpoint, one is from the operational standpoint. So that's a
Yeah.
very interesting feature. So I mean, our prospective clients should be interested to like do more, understand more. They can
Yeah.
be on the top. now the information is always on the fly because you are sitting on the right set of data.
Yeah, I
So
think we
that's
can
a
look at, no,
yeah.
this is really relevant, Bhupi. I think what you guys have done the job here to be able to understand the SAP data, right? The underlying SAP data, and then be able to stitch that together, make a like a nice use case out of it to be able to show that in the Looker Studio, in the queries, use that data, do the agent building. I think this opens up a lot of possibilities. And thanks for sharing your knowledge with the rest of the group here. It's really amazing work you three have done. And really, I know you pushed hard to understand everything and now end product looking really good. And, I think it's a lot of good possibilities for our clients. So
And
definitely great job there.
And as you asked, like for since you are on a time constraint run, so I would want to like suggest that if we can like fix up another time, so that we can also dive into how we can integrate GCP with SAP. That's another piece of like interesting thing to do. How we set
Yeah.
up the APIs, how we set up the communication, and how we can map those technical fields which SAP is like is built upon like
Yeah.
very complex structures, and how we can transform those fields into real insight for analytics. So
Yes.
that is another piece that we want to like do some work on, and then we'll present the solution.
Yeah.
And
Let's keep.
also one more thing, we can show that the executive dashboard layer built in Looker Studio connected directly to the BigQuery views as well. So that we can
Yes.
do in the
Cool.
next session. Yeah.
Let's keep it for the next session. If you want to spend like quick 30-second to show what dashboards you guys built very quickly in Looker Studio, maybe just let's scan through that and we can do the details in the next session.
So
Yeah.
basically, we created the spend dashboard, right? This was one dashboard that we created, and the other was like the budget performance and spend analysis dashboard that we've created. Like Bhupender, if you want to skim through
So
it,
sure, I'll just take like few seconds to explain quickly. Can you bring it over?
yeah.
So yeah, so here if you see that so we thought of like going in for multiple scenarios, like multiple dashboards and storylines, but because it requires a lot of like backend work, so we were only able to do like two. This is the overall spend dashboard, but one could argue this is not a very detailed one. Yes, we were in process and we just wanted to showcase you how the solution would look like. You can have a like a spend distribution uh, categories, like majorly where where an organization is spending much of the money. Is it in projects or transformation? Sorry about the spell mistake. And normal demand and regulatory like areas. Then you have spend management by region for 5 years. Then you have overall spend outflow for last 12 months, irrespective of categories. It's like overall. Then you can also have the business drivers, like what exactly you're looking for: vendor consolidation, annual renewals, regulatory remediations, digital transformation. So these are like further drill downs of the main categories. And then you have the type of demands, like you can explain it more into like what exactly is driving that demand. And then you have the numbers. And then we have the spend category for 5 years, which is like software and cloud, cybersecurity, training. So these are like categories which can be customized by any organization based on their spend categories and spend outflow. So this is like a nice overall thing with what that is being prepared by the data that we ingested into Google Cloud from SAP, and we ran the queries. Can you go to the next slide? And this second sheet is sheet of dashboard is to showcase that how you can manage the you can see the performance variance and where this spend is. Like you can do a granular analysis, department-wise spend analysis, allocation versus actual. Then you have like again category wise, what was the total, what was the actual, what
Wow.
is the open commitments, all of that. So
Amazing. No,
we can
this is
do
really
more.
great. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, with the given like time and the thought process, we could only like include two scenarios, but imagine you have 10, 15 different kind of dashboards and scenarios you want to deep dive. All that can be done, and there's much more into it.
Nice, nice.
But
No, this
all
is
of this is working in Google Cloud. Data is SAP compliant. We can match it back like what from where the data source is, where the data source is lying, and what data is coming through that data source. So
right. If we can
Yeah.
go back to the non-sharing view, I think this is impressive, guys. I just want to, if it's okay, we can close it off. I think, but great job. Really impressed and, amazing, amazing. I know we had some discussions and You guys have really done an amazing job. So kudos to you. By the way, Karthik's birthday today. So happy birthday,
Oh,
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
Karthik.
hey, hi,
Thank you.
Karthik.
Thanks, Ashish.
Happy
Thanks, guys.
birthday.
Thank you, Ashish.
Sweet 16?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in my mind,
Yeah, good.
that's
Great.
right.
But great
Yes,
job,
that's the
guys.
number.
Really amazing. So looking forward to more of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Ashish,
Ashish.
for giving
I'm
this
gonna-
opportunity.
No, thank you guys for stepping up. So I'm going to stop the live stream. Bye everyone on YouTube.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
team.